open up places, places. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said,
Here I am. I'm not nervous, it's fine. All right, this seems to be a theme. What is your superpower? Last year, and yesterday, but it's in my speech, so we're gonna go with last year, okay? Travis talked about having a superpower, how every single person in the room had a superpower. And I remember immediately thinking, I don't think I have one. The reason that I thought this way was not because anyone beat me down or told me I wasn't worth anything. It was because even though I had a very loving mother, she did a lot of negative self-talk. And because of that, I ended up mimicking it. Trust me, your kids are watching and listening. So growing up, through my childhood, through my adult years, I really thought I was very stupid. My husband will tell you, I always said I was dumb. I was never gonna do anything with my life. And I just turned 37 last week, and well, thank you. But in those 37 years, I think I've had about 35 jobs, okay? So I was that person that could not find my place in the world until I found people that started to believe in me. The first person to believe in me was my boss at a previous job before coming to Arieyl. I was broke as a joke in 2012. We were almost close to bankruptcy, and I needed a job bad. So I took it was a shipping position. I was like, I don't want to do this, but I needed something. So seasonal position, it was only supposed to be a few months. That boss believed in me so much that over the next 8 years, I was at the very top of the company. I was everybody's boss, and I loved it. And I really thought, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. The second person to believe in me is our CEO, Kristen Butler. In 2019, I joined a company because I had found a product that worked for my gut issues. Kristen just happened to be the team leader there. I remember the end of 2019, I got a message directly from Kristen. I had never spoken to her. I maybe had 500 volume. I was a nobody, okay? But she invited me to their Margaritaville vacation home. Again, I was nobody, and I was sitting in a room full of top leaders, some that are in this room today who are still my besties, and I kept wondering, why the heck am I here? The last day, Travis was walking me to my car, and I asked him point blank, why am I here, Travis? He said, Kristen sees people. She sees who's hustling, she sees who shows up, and she sees something in you. I gotta tell you, I don't think anyone had ever believed in me the way that those two did before I'd given them a reason to. So thank you, Kristen and Travis, for everything, obviously, but for believing in me and showing me that I could do this. It's like they knew I could be standing here someday. So you remember that boss who believed in me so much? Well, 2020 happened to both his personal life and his business. So it just became a very toxic work environment. In the beginning of 2021, my husband and I decided my peace was worth so much more than a paycheck, and I walked away from that job. Because I did that, I was able to give it 100% to Arieyl. I went from that girl who hit 500 maybe to hitting Ruby in 3 weeks, to being, to being a top income earner, to being a top enroller, and for just being able to find a creativity inside me that I didn't know I had. Just from all y'all believing in me, I became something I didn't know was inside. And thank you to my husband for believing in me as well and letting me do this. So a lot has happened over the last 2 years, and I wish that I could just stand up here. Like Darnell said, I wish we had all the hours in the world to tell you all our stories. But this is what I want to say. You have a superpower. Every single one in this room has something to give. Don't leave this place like I did, thinking that you don't have a superpower. The problem with superpowers is that most of us don't want to get into them because we know it takes being bold and stepping out of our comfort zone in order to harness it. I promise it's worth it. After the last convention, I went home and I did a lot of self-reflection. It took me a few months to try to figure out what my superpower was. I talked to some of my close circle of friends. I asked them my weaknesses, my strengths. I really wanted to dig in and figure out what mine was. So you guys want to know what I think mine is? I believe that my superpower is being 100% authentically myself on and off social media in a world full of fake. So from the girl who hated herself, who thought she was stupid, who really hated the skin she was in, to being able to stand on this stage today, breathing life into you today, I want you to know if I can do this, any of you can do this. The fact that you're in this room today means that you want something more for your life and you love helping people. So I want you to take that passion that you have right now inside of you, and I want you to just start stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the next day, until you are standing on this stage sharing your superpower with the world.
Hi, we're Kristen and Travis Butler, the founders and CEOs of